Elin today shows the class her picture. While Elin was getting ready for school, she started thinking about all the amazing things she had planned for that day. Best of all was going to be showing her class the picture she had just finished. Elin got dressed and put her picture in her book bag. She began to giggle. She giggled a lot. Suddenly there was a voice from downstairs. "Breakfast is ready. Coming, Mum," Elin replied. "Coming, Mummy," Elin replied. She closed her book bag and skipped to the kitchen, where her mummy, daddy, and baby brother Henry were already eating their breakfast. "What have you been doing upstairs, Elin?" asked her mummy. "I've been getting ready for school, Mummy." "Of course. And my book bag is all ready, so you don't need to do anything." Elin finished her breakfast, and her daddy helped her brush her teeth. As her daddy brushed, Elin made funny woo-woo-woo noises with her mouth. "You are funny, Elin," said her dad, smiling. "Now quickly go and give Henry a kiss goodbye before you go to school with Mummy." Now, Elin was in the reception class and knew exactly where to put her coat, outdoor shoes, and of course her book bag. Ellen's mummy gave Elin a kiss and said goodbye. "Sweet pea. Have a nice day." Elin, today be good. I will, Mummy." Elin gave her mummy a big hug and walked into the classroom. Mrs. B, the teacher, called the register. She then told what she had planned for the children. "This morning we'll make some fun animal pictures, and then we'll read a story. If we have time, we'll have a play outdoors on the bikes." Before Mrs. B was finished, Elin put her hand up. "Yes, Elin," said Mrs. B, with a worried look on her face. When can we show you our picture?" "They don't have to be brought in until Friday, and today is only Monday." Mrs. B was amazed. "Have you finished already?" Elin stood up. "Oh yes. Would you like me to get it for you?" She had to cover her mouth because she had started giggling again. "Well, if we have time this afternoon, you can show the class then." The children had a busy morning, painting and sticking, followed by a great story about jungle animals. At last, it was time to play outdoors. Elin zoomed up and down the playground, showing off her fancy tricks. She felt like she was flying through the air like an Olympic acrobat. All of her other friends watched in amazement and what was really happening. Elin scooted out of control and almost falling off. The lunch bell rang. "Lunchtime!" The children called and headed for the hall. Elin sat with her friends, Claude and Sydney. They talked about what they had done that weekend. Claude had gone to see his gran, and Sydney had been for a long walk in the woods with his family. Elin talked about her picture. He had hidden she had hidden away in her book bag. After lunch, the children did some writing practice, and they all took in turns to read to Mrs. B. Ellen's reading book had a magic box in it, and there were lots of wonderful adventures. Elin loved adventures and also loved it when funny things happened in the story. When Elin finished reading to Mrs. B, she asked if she could show the class her picture. I suppose so, but you'll have to be quick, Elin. It is almost home time. All the children sat on the carpet. Mrs. B clapped her hands in a special way to get the children's attention. Before we go, Ellen would like to show us all her picture. Ellen shot up with excitement and started to run to her drawer. "Walk!" cried Mrs. B. When Ellen returned, she stood in front of all the children. The picture was folded in half so nobody could see what it was. Just then, Mrs. B remembered the last time Ellen brought in a picture, but it was too late. Ellen opened her picture slowly. The children waited, staring, wondering what it was going to be. Ta-da! Ellen turned the picture around. She showed the class. When the class saw the picture, they froze for a moment. Then some children started to scream. Some children cried with laughter, and some just cried. Mrs. B gasped. I think that's enough for today. Off you go, children. Your parents are waiting in the playground." When Ellen's mum came to collect her, she asked Mrs. B if it had been a good day. "Oh yes," Mrs. B replied. "It's been an interesting day. Ellen's drawing are really something, aren't they?" As they walked out from school, Ellen's mum looked down at Ellen. "Tell me about your picture, Sweet Pea." Ellen giggled. "Night, night, Ellen."